right, hey folks, good afternoon. It is Tuesday afternoon here, just like a Moody Blues song. We're going to do some game design here. We're working Artificers. We're looking at a Battlesmith here on screen. We're going to lean into that aesthetic today. Give me a moment here to check my signal. I'm going to do some quick channel updates, and then we'll get started. So if you're already familiar with the stream and you're catching us after the fact, you're certainly welcome to skip forward like a minute or two, and then we'll get into the thick of today. Come on, man. My screen's acting all buggy. There we go. And then we'll go to my channel. I just want to make sure that we're actually live, and then do the... All right, cool. Looks like we're actually live. I'm going to do some social media posting here real quick. I don't have like a timer, a time down thing, so really you can skip ahead. And if you're trapped here in space time with me here now, what a curse. So hold on real quick. Let's switch channels here and get all the posting up and running. Okay, so to keep you entertained while I press a bunch of buttons, I will tell you, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online. I basically build PDF role-playing game supplements online. And the Martial Power system that we've been developing here over the past year, and we're currently playtesting on my Discord channel, is the next expansion of that. Basically creating a unified mana system for all 13 classes in the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition system, so that we can use that mana system to express characters using the Magic the Gathering color mana system to replace the 8 schools of magic and Vancian spell slot system that 5e has retained over the past 50 years. So I'm a big Spellpoint enthusiast. I'm a huge Eberron enthusiast. So that's what inspired the project. We already have a number of projects, a number of books that are published for color mana, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But my social media postings is done. So we're going to be working on converting the Artificer today. If you think this stuff is cool, consider a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. We're making use of the playtest documents here and here, which are on D&D Beyond right now. They've been updating the Artificer for 2024, new 5e rules, and the playtest doc that we're using to then update the new Artificer into the color mana system is here. The entire playlist, there's like 130 episodes or something at this point in the full playlist here, and color mana conversion stuff is here. My Discord community for playtesting and just shooting the shit, welcome to it. Discord community, if you want to support me on Patreon, God bless you. And here's the color mana Spellpoint variant rules on DMsGuild and a bunch of other books that we've created on DMsGuild. They're all free preview, check them out. You have full access to them all right now, just like you have access to reading the playtest doc. So I'm going to click into the playtest doc. This is what you will see. For me, I'm going to be editing it today. For you, it's going to be a read-only access. But the entire, all 156 pages are here for you to chew through. It converts all of the Barbarian, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue subclasses, as well as the new Artificer, and we're working on the subclasses right now, as well as the Warlock for 2024, and further down below are all the full casters, the cleric, the Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Wizard. Those are all included as well. So was that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? Yeah. So this playtest document has all of the updates for the color mana system for building your character. And then the if you want to look into the color mana system here on DMsGuild, the basic rules are here in the core mechanics, but if you just want to see the color coding for all the spells and effects in the game, this is a read-only, this is a pay what you want, full access. It describes what the colors are, how they're generally described in mechanical terms in D&D, the damage types that are associated with each: white, blue, black, red, green, and the 10 magical damage types that are in D&D, and then of course bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing aren't devoted to any specific color, but take the damage type and the general themes of each color, and it comes up with a matrix of which colors would that, like Firebolt, it's fire, that's a red spell. Let's go look at Wrathful Smite is white and black. Sleep is blue and green. Illusion stuff is generally blue. Let's go up to Web is a green spell. Zone of Truth, blue and black for control, manipulation. So yeah, Animate Dead, Necromancy, black, pretty obvious. So check this stuff out. If you think it's cool, consider picking up some of it. These are the original versions from the 2014 book that we published in 2018 and through 2021. But we're going to be going through, the reason for this playtest document is because we are updating the entire system for the 2024 mechanics. And honestly, the color mana system and the character builds work even better with 2024 because Wizards is moving in the direction that these ideas lean into. So it's actually not much of a step up anymore from what 5e game mechanics were. So this is going to end up serving you really well. If you're into MTG and D&D, this is this stuff right here. This is your jam right here with me. So yeah, check it out and let's get to work. So we're going to take this read-only document for you. We're going to peel this playtest document out. We're going to scroll all the way past all of the Barbarian and Fighter and Monk. And we also have all the Forsaken classes that were not republished in 2024 that still exist in 2014. We've been updating those as well with the power system. Basically, the martial classes become half casters. So there's only half casters and full casters now. But if you aren't a caster, you only have access to powers, martial powers that scale up to 5th rank, as opposed to 5th level spells. Monks are now half casters as well, using the power system. Martial characters can only use powers. Spellcasters, like full casters, can only use spells. And the actual half casters, the Ranger, the Paladin, and the Artificer, they can use both. The Warlock can also use both by using invocations to gain access to different powers as well. Hey, what is up? Finality's Folly. Oh, you've been around before. I think we've seen you here before, right? I know there was somebody named Folly that was kicking around with us like maybe 6 months ago. My apologies if you have been around and I don't fully recall who you am. But yeah, so again, this playtest document, it's 100% available for you to read. It's read only. But here's the full playtest. And we actually playtest on Saturday mornings on my Discord community, and we still have some bandwidth for some extra people. So it's very, very long time ago. So we're going through the process of updating all of the color mechanics for the books. And so this document is it's working really well so far. So I'm really pleased with it. I already know the color mechanics work because I've been using those literally since 2017, and they do wonders for the game system as far as like flavor and immersion and having a magic system with actual like tangible and visual elements that lean into the idea of we're in a world of magic. But now that we got the 2024 rules out, and hopefully they're going to stay with them for a good decade or so, the system is the changes that they made to the 5e24 chassis in general line up really well with how I want to express color mechanics in the 5e game engine. So I'm thrilled with where WotC has taken D&D because it achieves my goals. It's better for me. So what's better for me is better for my players, and that generally makes me think it's better for the community in general because that's my conceit. So, but welcome back to the mix, Folly. Glad to have you. So I'm scrolling down through all this content to get to the Artificer, and I think I might have time to get through 2 of the subclasses today, and then we'll follow up and probably finish the other 2 on Friday, and then we have playtesting on Saturday. This is this weekend. Assuming that we have at least 3 people show up, we should be clipping through to 5th level. And then, so next week when we pick up again, we'll have 5th level, we'll have 2nd rank powers, the characters will be a little bit tougher. Here's our Warlock build, and then finally we get down into the Artificer, which is here. Boy, that took a while. Where are we at? For those that are playing along, we are now on page 92. Above this is all the martial stuff and the warlocks. Below this are all the full casters, and then below the full casters is no, there after the artificer is magical equipment or power gear, and then after the power gear are the full casting classes converted to 24 with all their subclasses, and then further down is the DM section about giving monsters power. You like giving monsters like 4E style template kits. As well as building guides for a color mana hex crawl system in the Rubble Belt of Ravnica, and the mega dungeon dungeon crawl system that we're currently using in the playtest. So there's a ton of tools here for both players and DMs to lean into the mana system together. And so we've spent a few of our previous episodes in the Martial Power stream walking through the mechanics of the Artificer. Again, we're using a short rest mechanic. Like a monk's focus or key points, the same as the Point Warlock uses. It's 1 point per level up through 20 points. If this was a full casting class, we wouldn't need to have the restoration powers that we've included. But since we're using a short rest mana mechanic, we need a chance for this half caster to be able to get access to more than just 1 point per short rest. So leaning into the idea of the warlock being able to spend a minute ritual to regain mana themselves, this has the harness magic ability, which is as a 1 minute ritual, you can harness magic from the environment, restoring an amount of mana equal to half your artificer level rounded up, minimum of 1, which you can do once, regaining the feature when you finish a long rest. So this is at first level, so you can spend a minute and get another point of mana back. Let's see, replicate magic items. We have that all built out right now. That's fine. We've walked through these. We wouldn't need that if we didn't have them on short rest mana, because they'd have more mana per long rest. But only full casters in this system are utilizing long rest mechanics. Everyone else is using short rest. Full casters get so much mana that they don't really need to have. It's a difference in power where the full casters are pacing themselves through a day and then resorting to cantrips when they get there. The half casters are able just to drop and get a short rest whenever they need. There is a way to convert all 13 classes to be short rest, but I do not recommend converting all 13 classes to long rest. The martial classes do a lot better with short rest mana, causing them to have to make decisions about feat, power, and weapon mastery usages during combat. So okay, great. So let's skip on down. When we were here last, and again, I'm going to skip over a ton of content because we have spent. You can just do a search in my playlists to find like when we originally built the Alchemist, and we originally built the Armorer, and we originally built the Artillerist and the Battlemaster, Battlesmith. This is the full conversion for the Cartographer, which turned out pretty good. And now we are going to rewind back. Hold on, let's get to here. I'm just going to put a break in there. Let's see. Let's go back to the Battlesmith. We only have part of the Battlesmith installed here, very minimal. So I want to expand out and make sure all of this is reading proper. So I'm going to go down to the Battlesmith, and we're just going to basically pick up and replace stuff. So Battlesmith, flavor text, battle ready. Yeah, we're going to copy then paste. Tap. Battle ready is the feature, and let's see how it reads, what modifications I didn't have it listed here originally, so that probably means there's no problems with it, but I want to pick it up and see how it works out. So I'm ganking. Oof, God, this document's ugly. That's why I didn't copy it, because the PDF is horrible about picking stuff up. So I'm going to muck through this. Let's see. You have two. I'm going to just shorthand this. You have two features. You gain 2 options. Arcane Empowerment. When you attack with a magic weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dexterity modifiers for attack and damage rolls. Weapon knowledge. You gain proficiency with martial weapons, period. Cut. Paste. There and there. Let's see. Battle ready. You gain 2 options. Your training grants 2 options. Whatever. And damage. Cool. Okay, so that's level 3 base feature. And what? Steel Defender is next. Cool. Okay, so that's level 3 base feature. And what? Steel Defender is next. 1, 2. Steel Defender. Your tinkering has born you a companion, a Steel Defender. See the stat block. You determine the defender's appearance and whether it has 4 or 2 legs. Your choices don't affect the defenders. And the spotlight illustration for today is I don't remember the name of this dude, but he was a Battlesmith Artificer in an Eberron campaign that I ran from level 1 to 20. I think it was back in 20. I want to say back in 2020. But yeah, shotgun. Right on the back, saddle included, little gnome, Zalargo. Cheers. Love Eberron, super fun. Steel Defender, so the defender in combat, the defender acts during your turn. It can move and take its reactions on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the defender acts on its own and isn't limited to the dodge action. Restoring or replacing the defender if the defender dies. Okay, easy enough. Let's see. You've always been a partial R? We got 40 minutes left. Partial to Spelljammer. Oh, that's right. You were around for a Spelljammer. Fuck A, dude. I love Spelljammer. That book is for those that don't know, just to take a quick look. We did a real deep dive and built out the Spelljammer combat and exploration document here on the DMsGuild. It's I think 107 pages in total. The entire book is available for you, but it redefines ship combat and exploration in the Spelljammer setting. It goes through a ton of mechanics about fleet command, siege weapon combat, mass combat for ships, exploring wild space in the Astral Sea, and it has a random system generator. Let's go back to the front. It's got a random system generator here in Appendix 1 to create your own wild space systems. It has rules about spellcasting, ship hazards, as well as a full conversion guide for the Light of Xeraxis adventure. I'm going to be on, I think it's AJ Pickett's channel, maybe next month or so, talking about basically like a 3-minute blurb about how awesome Light of Xeraxis is. I think that's what I'm doing. Anyway, super fun. And this is a full conversion guide to use all the mechanics that we developed for combat and exploration and show you how it works using Light of Xeraxis as a sample guide. So Good stuff. Check it out if you think it's cool. There's like 100 some odd ship and NPC and weapon and map token assets that are included with the download, but you can just read the mechanics here now with the sample file. Obviously, you know, you can see all this stuff here, but super fun. But let me get back on task. But yeah, we're building a subclass book for all 13 classes using my Spelljammer mechanics that we'll be publishing after we finish our Eberron adventure that we do in the mornings. And we also have the kaiju and mecha fighter book that we're creating so that characters can pilot mecha suits like Gundams and Evangelions and stuff and fight giant monsters using the mechanics that are already in that Spelljammer book. We're just pulling them all out and condensing and basically scope spanning them so that there's more stuff to do when your characters load into a war golem to be able to run around and bit things with giant weapons. So super fun. We already know the mechanics work from the Spelljammer book that we have published I just showed you. This is just an opportunity for us to really lean into that narrative, to not necessarily do Spelljammer, just to have mecha running around your game, whether they can fly at 1,000,000 miles per day or they're limited to 50 miles per hour, up to you. But they totally work. It's awesome. So let's get back on task. Steel Defender. That's my fault. I allowed myself to be distracted. You guys talk about whatever's exciting to you. I love being on board. Steel Defender. So what do we got going on? Restoring and replacing your defender is the only thing that really got changed. So let's see. Your tinkering. I'm just going to add in a little flavor text here. Pop. Your tinkering has created a companion. There. That's all I need for now. The defender in combat. That's weird that it would say, hey, here's what the defender can do in combat, but never mind about exploration or social challenges. Your tinkering has created a Steel Defender. See playtest. See Artificer. Playtest. Packet 1 for stats. Defender in combat. In combat, the defender acts during its turn. In combat, the defender acts in tandem with you during your initiative. It can using with its own movement and reaction each round. Period. But the only action it takes is the dodge action unless you take a bonus action to command it to take a different action. I'm using slightly different words for compliance reasons. I can't completely duplicate the text and put it on DMsGuild. I have to manipulate the text somehow. If you have the if you are incapacitated, the defender can act on its own. And is no longer limited to the dodge action, period. And it's time for me to write on my guy. Yeah, cool. Oh, nice. Bring it, dude. Drop into my Discord and give us a look-see when you're ready. Restoring, or there's a yeah. I'll be talking about dragon flight and dragon chases in an episode in an upcoming recorded monster of the year sort of. I did the Mega Kraken last year. I'm going to be doing dragon flight and upscaled movement this year. So everyone can keep an eye out for that stuff. Restoring or replacing the defender if the defender. Okay, so if your defender has died, you can touch and expend 2 mana. The defender returns to life with full hit points in 1 minute. To magic action to whenever you finish a long rest, you can create a new steel defender if you have the smith's tools in hand. You can when you finish a long rest, you can create a new defender. The old one vanishes if you do. Replacing the prior defender if it still if it exists, period. So there's that, and then whoa, hold on. Hold on. Where's your spell? Oh, there they are. I was gonna say, where the fuck's your spells, dude? Okay, yeah, I missed stuff. Okay, so tool proficiencies. I was gonna say deduce. I feel like I should. Up the size on that. Features. Level 3 variant. Tool proficiency. You gain proficiency with Smith's tools. If you already have this proficiency, you gain proficiency in other tools. Or choose another tool if you're already proficient. Period. In addition, when you craft an ordinary or magic weapon, the amount of time required to create is halved. In addition, when you craft weapons or magical weapons, reduce the time required by 1 degree. Rarity, time reduced. It was. So down here in the cartographer, temporary objects are season, month, week, day. Season, month, week. Season, month, week, day. The season, month, week, day. Right. So this is going to bounce to week, month, yeah, season. Season's down to a month. A month is down to a week. Week is down to a day. So if it's up to 10 gold pieces you can make, you'd normally be able to make it in a day, but you can reduce down to 8 hours, and which is can create 3 per day with no sleep. Actually, we should probably list it as can create 2 per day and rest. And then common up to 100 magic, up to 100 gold would normally take a week to build a magic item like that, but for you it's only a day. An uncommon or rare magic item would normally take a month, but for you it would only take a week if it's a magical weapon. Very rare and legendary objects would take a season, but for you it's only a month. And in comparison, Cartographer only makes temporary magic items. Season, month, week, day. Season, month, week, day. Season, month, week, day. Yeah, so it's faster. It's faster. There you go. And then we have level 3 battlesmith spells. You gain bonus spells that are always prepared and don't count against the total. You can count against your total. In addition, no. Battles, Artificer level. Spells. Free spells. Let's leave it like that. Three, 5, 9, 13, 17. Bring it. Heroism, shield, shining smite, warding. These are great spells. Warding bond, aura of vitality, conjure barrage, aura of purity, fire shield, banishing smite, mass cure wounds, and let's do this. Replace with banishing smite, strike. Banishing Strike is kind of like Banishing Smite, but it's only 4th rank. So it only takes 4 mana, but you can boost it to 5. We're going to put a line through that. Because we're replacing the Smite spells. What do we want to do? Format. Text. I see text. Give me a second. We got to look at what Shining Smite is. Hey, what's up? Frog Third, hey. What are you converting? Like, are you converting stuff from previous editions? Okay, so welcome to the channel. Hey, I don't know if you've been here before. I'm not sure, but if you check in the description down below here, you'll see the 5 color mana spell point variant rules that are on the DMsGuild. They're all 100% free preview. This currently has the core classes, like the full casting classes. There's a specific book about Eldritch Knights and Arcane Tricksters. There's a specific book about Point Warlocks, and there's a specific book about monks from 2014, The Way of the Four Elements. This project converts spellcasting in D&D 5e into the color magic system of D&D. It replaces the spell slots and the 8 schools of magic with the 5 color mana. This book here, this free preview, basically explains how you define a spell or magical effect as one color or another, and goes through the entire list of 2014 PHB. Like you can see here, like if we scroll down to Stone Skin, for instance, red is mountain, stone stuff in general, and green for elements. So generally Stone Skin is a red or a green spell. It's a 4th level spell. It costs 4 mana. 1 point should be either red or green, and then the other 2 points can be, the other 3 points can be any color that you want. When your character finishes a long or a short rest, any mana that you have in your mana pool, you can decide what colors they are. If you're, like, say, a Rakdos character that's only black and red, then you would split up your mana pool between black and red mana, and then all the spells that you collect, you would naturally have access to, like, for example, Stone Shape is a red spell, so Rakdos would naturally have access to Stone Skin. While, like, say Dimir, which is blue-black, would not normally have access to Stone Shape because it doesn't have blue or black mana. So what you could do is research the spell so it could be black and blue if you wanted to. Or if you're on the fly, you could prepare it twice, so that you would be able to prepare Stone Shape, and then you would be Stone Skin or Shape, whatever, and then you would be able to prepare it in the color that you want by preparing it a second time. This encourages downtime activity. It encourages your characters in a MTG campaign to have a home base, like the guilds of Ravnica, to touch base with your guild. Because if you're a guild member, you have free access to the archives so that you could convert spells to the colors that you want if you just spend time there to do so. So it really encourages you to have your characters slow down and become part of the community by spending, and I'm going to spend 2 weeks and convert some spells that I want to have available to just readily available. But that helps create a basic, like a generic Rakdos character would normally not have, say, Phantasmal Kill. Well, they would, because it's black, so you'd have access to Phantasmal. Like Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, for example, or Faithful Hound. A Rakdos character normally wouldn't be expected to have access to these spells. So if you see a character running around that's throwing down these spells using black and red mana, it's like, that is an interesting character. They're breaking your expectations. So you can create a narrative around the magic, and all the books that we have in the system here are designed to create characters and build campaigns using that magic paradigm, the color magic system. The project that we're working on specifically today, which you can access here in the Martial Power playtest document that we're working on, we're currently down on page 96 because we're converting the new 5e24 rules for the Artificer that Wizards has been promoting. We're converting the Artificers to work with the mana system. This full document creates a half-casting system for the martial characters, the Barbarian, the Fighter, the Rogue, and the Monk, to become half-casters using a short rest mana system like the Monk uses, so that all 13 characters in 5e D&D are using the same mana resource system, so that we can express all characters as color mana characters. So, like, if you wanted to make a Boros Swiftblade, for example, you could build that Swiftblade character using the powers that are in this book as a mana spend, as like a Gish, Magus, Sword Sage sort of abilities. It's heavily inspired by Book of Nine Swords from 3rd edition, but also really borrows off of 4e and all the different mechanical ideas that exist already in 5e. So it's a pretty deep dive. We're playtesting it on my Discord channel, which is linked down below. We're about to step up to 5th level. We initially did playtesting at level 16 to 20 last year, and it worked great at the high end. Ever since then, we've been working on how can we scale it down so it's something that you can use right away starting at 1st level with any character. The color mana system itself that I'm looking at over here on the DMsGuild, I first started publishing this in 2018, and I've been using it in all my campaigns from level 1 to 20. I've ran 3 campaigns from level 1 to 20 since I've published this, using the color mana system, and it's great. It's really fun, so it's worth checking out. All the books are free to view. If you want to buy them to support similar behavior in the future, God bless you. But you can ignore that. Let's see. Okay, great. So we're converting the Battle Master currently, and we're going to continue with that. So, oh yeah, that's right. What we need to do right now is we're replacing Banishing Strike with the Banishing Smite spell with the Banishing Strike power, and we're going to replace Shining Smite. I need to look up what Shining Smite does. So let's go to spells and look up what this does exactly. Shining Smite, to see what it is that we would use to replace it with in the power system. I really want a D&D Silver. Oh my God, Sliver's so fun. You never guess what deck I run. I love Slivers. They're so fun. Yeah. So, Shiny Smite, there we go. Big Sliver fan. I'm also a Shrine Deck fan. The target hit by the strike takes radiant damage until the spell's target bright light 5 foot, area advantage, and it can't benefit from being invisible. Okay, so that's probably going to be Axiom Strike. So let's go to the big document here. Let's scroll down to the strike powers. It's a half casting progression. You start at first level. You gain short rest mana, and each class has ways of cheating additional mana into their character. Like you can sacrifice action economy to generate temporary mana. Empowered actions is what it's called. If your character doesn't move and your speed isn't already reduced to 0, you can stand still to generate a point of mana. You can sacrifice your bonus action to generate mana, depending on your level. First level, you gain a point of mana. At 9th level, you can generate 2 mana. At 17th level, you can generate 3 mana, only for the martial power stuff. Full casters don't get this stuff. This is an interesting way that martial characters have to like eke out small pieces of mana as instant spell effects, like instant magic effects, as actions, reactions, bonus actions, movement, attack actions, on hit effects. It all parses out in these really small pieces of mana per use, but there's no limit to how many times you can use mana per round, assuming your mana pool will provide for it, and you have the action economy available to do it. So you can exchange action economy to gain more mana to spend with whatever action economy you have left over during your turn, or you can use all of your actions and borrow off of your own pool. So it allows you to bend between those two things, and even if you burn out your entire mana pool, you can still sacrifice actions or attacks to be able to generate extra mana. Starting at 5th level, well, technically at 1st level, when you take the attack action, however many attacks you sacrifice from your attack action also generates mana. So like if I'm 5th level, I could sacrifice both of my attacks to use 2 mana for free during my bonus action, which I could, like if I'm 9th level, I can channel up to 3 mana at a time. I could like sacrifice both my attacks, spend a point of mana out of my mana pool, and now I'm using a 3 mana power as a bonus action during this turn. If I stood still and sacrificed my attacks, I could generate 3 points of mana for free, and the only thing I do this turn is bonus action, trigger, I don't know, teleport effect or whatever 3 mana thing I'm doing. So there's a lot of fun ways for martial characters to squeeze out a whole lot of mana that actually keeps up with the full mana pool, like 80 or 100 mana per day that like a 20th level full caster has. Even though a martial character only gets 20 mana at 20th level on a short rest, you get your full pot when you do long rest, and then you get another full pot when you take your short rest. That's 40 mana per day, and you could take another short rest and get 60, or you could realistically, over the course of 12 rounds of combat, generate an extra 30 or 40 mana during combat to do stuff during combat. And when you drop out of combat, you lose the empowered actions, because this stuff only works while in combat, like a lot of Rangers stuff. While in combat, you X, Y, Z. Well, while in combat, empowered actions. While out of combat, you use your mana pool. So it's a fun differentiation. While the full casters just have a fat stack of mana, and they just always have to burn out of the mana pool. So it works really well. It's been working great in the playtest. We're about to hit 5th level in the playtest, and we're going to continue playtesting until level 10. And once we hit level 10, we're going to start playing Mage Tower from Strixhaven. We'll have 11th level, 13th, 15th, 17th, and 20th level teams, 3-player teams, basically playing Mage Tower against each other to use high-level powers mixed with spellcasters to try to score points against each other and use that as a playtest environment for 11th plus level characters. That should be probably in September. If we stay our course, by the time we get to September, we'll be doing that. And that's all on my Discord channel. So looking at the list of powers, we have exploits, which modify action economy, like trigger this while you're moving, stuff like that. Trigger this when you take the help action, stuff like that. And then we have maneuvers, which can be triggered as actions or bonus actions. Magic actions or bonus actions. Reactions are what you expect them to be, reactions. Strikes are like the 2014 Paladin's on-hit cast effect. So we're looking at something that will replace Shining Smite which I think is going to be Asium Strike. The weapon deals radiant damage. Increase the damage by 1 power die per mana channeled, and your power die is determined by your level. Summon. Thank you. At first level, there we go. At first level, your power die is a d6. It's kind of like a martial arts die, inspiration die, superiority die. First level, it's a d6. At level 9, it's a d8. And at level 17, it's a d10. You can channel up to 5. Like if I do like an Asium Strike with 5 mana at 17th level, it would be 5d10 extra damage plus whatever the kicker effect is. And for Asium Strike, the kicker effect is the creature glows with faint light, negating the benefits of invisibility or concealment. The creature must succeed a charisma saving throw or any illusion and shape change effect targeting the hit creature ends. The glow fades after 1 minute. So that's actually something from the Blood Hunter character class. I took everything in the Blood Hunter character class is inside of this martial power system. So if you wanted to play a Blood Hunter, you could play a Barbarian Blood Hunter or a Paladin Blood Hunter or a Ranger Blood Hunter, a Thief Blood Hunter, Artificer Blood Hunter, by just picking powers that are from the Blood Hunter flavored class. So we destroyed the Blood Hunter and just folded it into the power system. So the answer here is Asium Strike. So we're going to drop this out of the way. Format, text, strike through, and then instead we're going to go with Asium Strike. I'll have time to finish this, and then I got to bounce for the day. I've got work that I'll need to get back to. Yeah, we're doing good. We're only at 46 minutes so far, so we've still got 20 minutes to go. And then we're going to bounce. But that should be plenty of time. Hey, what's up? My fave isn't necessarily a type of card. It's just a card. I love flubs. Right on. Well, Frog, I'm glad you showed up, man. Thanks for being here. I stream this type of game design on Tuesdays and Fridays at lunch. I do other stuff on Mondays and Thursday nights here on stream. And then Monday through Friday in the morning, I do artwork for whatever the next book that's coming out. And the next book that's coming out is an Eberron adventure. Once that's done, we'll be working on the color mana stuff in the mornings. Let's see. Battle ready. We already took care of that. We have our Battlesmith spells now. We have tool proficiency, which is out of alphabetical order, which is weird. 4 features at the front end of this, which seems kind of bloated, but that apparently seems to be consistent with the other Artificer classes. So let's just keep pushing forward. We'll finish the Battlesmith today. We'll probably work on the Artillerist on Friday, and then Tuesday next week we'll work on the Armorer, and then finish off on Friday next week with the Alchemist, and then we'll have all the Artificers taken care of. And that'll finish all of the subclasses for all the classes on all the classes throughout 5e24, as well as the Forsaken classes from 2014 that didn't make it into the new player's handbook. They're all built in here as well. And then it's just revise, reshape, polish, cleave, fix, play test, figure out what works and doesn't work. So let's see. Level 5 extra attack. Fair enough. Easy enough. I see more text. Give me a hot second. Extra attack. When you take the attack action, you can make 2 attacks. Period. 1, 2. What's up? I saw the word converting Artificer subclass. The monkey brain went new content. Definitely gonna start. Yeah. We already did the cartographer last week. And the week before that, we did the full 2024 conversion from the playtest documents. Version 1 and 2, we updated that so the full scaffold works, and we converted to the short rest mechanic. And you can blend, you can learn powers or spells as you please. So you can take off the normal Artificer list in the first playtest packet, or any of the powers out of this book, and you can freely blend them. And you can swap one per day, and when you gain a level, you can swap all of your powers and spells for new ones. Yeah, and the power list actually also lets you learn feats and weapon masteries and magical damage types. If you pick up a feat, you don't gain the stat gain, but there's no prerequisites either. So it's a fun way for you to be able to kit out your character. Like at first level, like a first level Artificer has 4 prepared spells, which could be 4 feats instead of any spells. You don't use your mana at all. You just take a bunch of feats like Polearm Master, Sentinel, Slasher, and I don't know, Savage Attacker, for instance, or Tough, whatever. But those would be 4 feats. A Weapon Mastery. You could pick up Cleave, so that your character's completely kitted out to use a polearm at first level to do all the kick-ass polearm stuff. But you're not using your mana pool, you're not gaining any powers, you're not casting any spells, but you've got a legitimately fucking tough character at first level. This is a way that characters, when they get their ASIs, like marshals in particular, when they actually get their ASIs at 4th level, they can afford to actually increase their stats instead of like, fuck, am I going to gain a stat or am I going to take this feat that I need? This is a really easy solution to that opens up so much cool design space that actually lets marshals just about keep up with full casters in combat and exploration, but full casters will always be keen in utility. That's their real niche. This allows them to keep up in relevance in actual adventuring, while the full casters still have the edge when it comes to utility stuff. If you're using my Spelljammer system, marshals step ahead of the full casters when it comes to commanding ships and siege weapons, because they have more action economy per turn to issue commands to their crew. So in Spelljammer, using the system, there actually is actual balance between all 13 characters. It's actually pretty cool. Let's see. But I digress. Yet again. You guys get me monologuing so much. Full attack, that's good to extra attack, that's good to go. And let's see. Magic items. Oh, we went too far. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Arcane Jolt. When either you hit a target with an attack roll using a magic weapon, or your Steel Defender hits a target, you can channel magical energy through the strike to create one or more effects. Destructive energy. The target takes an extra 2d6 force damage. Restorative energy. Choose one creature or object you can see within 30 feet of the target. Healing energy flows into the chosen recipient, restoring 2d6 hit points to it. You can use this energy a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, but you can do so no more than once per turn. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay, that's okay. I can't wait to break the system. I'm definitely not a min-maxer. Couldn't be me. You're welcome to join the play. We play on Saturday mornings at 9:30 Pacific time till 1 p.m. We currently have typically around 3, maybe 4 players. I need at least 3 players. I can take a team up to 5. So if you're interested in playing, you're welcome to jump in. I run a mega dungeon, and the team is just about to hit 5th level. So you're certainly welcome to join. We need more bodies. And when we get to the Strixhaven testing, we're going to want to have as many teams of 3 as we can muster. Let's see. You can expend 2 mana to regain. Okay, so Arcane Jolts. When you or your defender hits with an attack, is it a melee attack? Using a magic weapon. There you go. When you or your defender hits with an attack using when you hit let's do it this way. When your defender hits with an attack, or you do so with a magic weapon, you can channel magical energy through the strike to create one of the following effects. Destructive energy and restorative energy, period, blah, blah, blah. Do that. Destructive energy. The target takes an extra. The target takes an extra 2d6 force damage. Choose one creature or object that you can see within 30 feet of the target. Healing energy flows into the chosen recipient. Restorative energy. A target within 30. A creature or object within 30 feet of the target is healed 2d6 damage. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1, and regain all uses when you finish a long rest. Alternatively, you can expend 2 mana to regain a use of this feature. The target takes an extra 2d6 force damage, 2d8 force damage. Number of times equal to your intelligence modifier minimum once. But only once per turn. Is it per turn? Yeah. But only once per turn. And you regain all uses. So if you hit with an opportunity attack using your reaction, you can use it again because it's per turn, not per round. Creature, object. Okay, that jives. And then put space into it. You can use this feature a number of times equal. Okay, so that's the base mechanic of it. And then let's look at the last one, level 15. And these are listed as variants because we're adding in the 2 mana effect to be able to regain uses of it, because 2d6 damage or 2d6 healing is actually perfectly in pace with what a martial character at 5th level would spend to deal an extra 2d6 damage or heal 2d6 hit points if you have a power that allows you to do so. So it actually curves out perfectly. You can keep using this as just generic damage or generic healing by spending 2 mana when you do so, like you normally would, but you get the bonus stack of free mana to do so a lot, like up to an extra, effectively an extra 10 mana that you get as a result of the power. Almost everything in the game can be broken down into mana costs by having a unified 13 class system and looking at what level do you acquire things and what sort of character would be able to do that. Would that be the same sort of thing that could be done at an equivalent level? So this 2d6 damage. That's what a 5th level martial character would be able to do using this system. So it would cost 2 mana. If it was 2d8 damage, it would still be appropriate for 9th level, because at 9th level you get d8s, but it's only 2 of them. It would still be appropriate to be only 2 damage. We're specifically not what we would do here is the target takes an extra 2 power dice of force damage. A creature or object within is healed for 2 power dice of damage. So we can allow this to scale. So here it's going to be 2d8s, but you can only do it once per turn. The target takes an extra 2d6 force damage. Creature or object within 30 feet is healed for 2 power dice. There, okay, I'm happy with that. Hey, what's up? Arcane Jolt is basically a subclass specific strike power. Yeah, essentially. When would I sign up for D&D on Saturdays? If you want to sign up and you're interested in participating, here is my Discord server. Click into that and then scroll, after saying hello, scroll down to Martial Powers Playtest. It should say sign up or, yeah, I think it says sign up. So you're certainly welcome to venture down there. Here it is again, Discord community. That's just an open invite link. See? Phil Kearney Creations. That's me. Cheers. Yeah, be welcome. You might recognize some of the people on the server if you're into Dice Dice Try's channel. If you're a participant in Dice Try's Discord, you'll probably recognize some of the people in the playtest already. So let's get into physical. 15th is Improved Defender. We might come back and further modify this. We're going to let it sit as it is and see if we want to, if there's other things we want to juice it up with. Because like you get that smite spell, you can spin the smite spell to deal like an extra 2d6 damage, and then you have the arcane jolt on top of it. That allows your character at 5th level to have a limited supply of dealing basically 46 damage on a hit. But that's not really any worse than what a guiding bolt could do as a cleric for 1 mana. So I mean, it's not really broken when you look at what characters are capable of doing. And you got to think about it that way. Your Arcane Jolt and Steel Defender have become more powerful, granting these ability benefits. Your Steel Defender has become more powerful. Your Arcane Jolt and so we become more powerful. Let's see what happens. Improved Jolt. Blah blah blah. Fortified Defender. Blah blah blah. And improved deflection. Blah blah blah. What does the new Jolt do? Does it already curve with what we do? The extra damage and healing of your Arcane Jolt both increase to 4. At 15th level, we can channel 4 dice. 13th level equals 4th rank or 4th level spells. This is still staying in curve with it, but we have to upgrade it. So let's see, Improved Jolt. You can now deal 4 power dice of damage or healing. Restoring the jolt this way costs 4 mana instead of 2. Instead of 2, and restoring a use of this feature costs 4 mana instead of 2 because it's 4 dice now, not 2. So we're upgrading the cost of it as well. You're still getting all your free uses, which is effectively like 20 intelligence. That's effectively 20 free mana per day that you're getting out of this. So if you want to restore any uses of it, it's going to cost you 4 mana instead of 2. And then Fortified Defender. Your Steel Defender gains a +2 to armor class. Your Defender gains a +2 bonus to AC. We might increase that. We'll look at the bounce, but not right now. Whenever your Steel Defender uses its deflect attack, the attacker takes force damage equal to D4 plus your intelligence modifier. Improve. Okay. Whenever your Steel Defender uses its deflect attack, whenever your defender uses its deflect attack reaction, the attacker takes 1d4 plus your int mod force damage. I think we can improve on this using the power curve system that we have. But I want to let it steep for a little while. I'm probably going to just let all of these sit for a little bit and then probably go sweep through all of them and then see about revising and upgrading them to use the power system. But as it stands right now, this is decent. This works. And so that is the Battlesmith. So we now have the Battlesmith completed and the Experimental Cartographer is now completed. When we come back on Friday, we're going to continue working our way backwards, and we're going to then work on the Artillerist and build that out. And then on Tuesday next week, thank you, that is my timer. And then next week on Tuesday, just like today, a week from now, we'll work on the Armorer, and then a week from Friday, we'll finish out with the Alchemist, and then we'll carry on. So, but yeah, absolutely. There's no reason. Hey, Steve, sorry they had to show up at the very end of the stream, but I got to cut streams right now and go back to work. So I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. We'll continue working on Eberron Artifact artwork. And then on Wednesday and Thursday mornings as well. Thursday night, I'm playing Shadow Dark with Wally DM. Fred Wheeler with How To RPG, AJ Pickett, and I don't know who else is on the roster, but other people. So we're going to be playing some Muckabout Shadow Dark Thursday night. Otherwise, we would normally do Bastion System campaign on Thursday night, but this is every other month we do a playtest game, and then Friday morning I'll be back, and then Friday at lunch we'll do this, and then Saturday I'll be doing playtesting on my channel on my Discord. Off on Sunday because all gods must rest. And then Monday morning, we'll loop back in just like we did yesterday with artwork in the morning and the Bastion System at night. So that's it for now, guys. Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out, my guys. I really appreciate y'all. Frog, thanks for hanging loose. And beep, 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 Folly, thanks for tagging back in. We'll get back to Spelljammer stuff eventually. And Steve, as always, appreciate you being here. So we'll see y'all on the other side. Cheerio. Bye.